don't know if you can see in the camera, but I still have like bruises everywhere on my arms from the needles poking me. And for a day and a half, we spent doing tests, neuro tests, blood tests, heart tests. We did other brain CT scans, and it was crazy. And basically the answer was, JC, you got to settle down. JC, you're too stressed. JC, you got to take it one step slower. What's up, guys, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about something a little different. Normally, I'm always, if you know anything, you know I'm always positive, excited, like, let's go, tons of energy. And today, I want to talk about a struggle, a real struggle. And I think as entrepreneurs, as business people, maybe even, as human beings, we don't share this stuff as much. The story starts at the hospital. Just a couple of weeks ago, I went to the gym Saturday morning and worked out and was eating at the club right afterwards with my wife. We were sitting there talking about my daughter, and all of a sudden my body started like tensing up. And I mean like really tensing up. Like think of like when your leg's starting to fall asleep, but it was like my head, it was my heart, it was my stomach, it was my legs. Like I couldn't, like it was off. Like I started losing my breath and ran over to got up and walked over, started telling Karen, like, we gotta go. I didn't know what was happening. By the time I got to the car, my hands were already starting to like get stiff, and went to the hospital, and here we are. Facing, for me, like one of the greatest fears in my life. Like I have an incredible fear of doctors, of needles and all this stuff. I'm sitting here and I don't know if you can see in the camera, but I still have like bruises everywhere on my arms from the needles poking me. And for a day and a half, we spent doing tests, neuro tests, blood tests, heart tests. We did other brain CT scans, and it was crazy. And basically the answer was, JC, you got to settle down. JC, you're too stressed. JC, you got to take it one step slower. And to be honest with you, it threw me, because this whole time I'm sitting here thinking like, dude, I'm happy. Like my marriage is great. My wife and I, we rarely fight. We got 2 kids that are great and wonderful, although they're exhausting. We got work is great. Financially, things are great. Like I was telling the doctor, like I was sitting there talking about my kid, like there was no anxiety in me. And then here you are saying that I'm full of anxiety, that I'm too stressed. And this was part of it, right? As entrepreneurs, as human beings, like are we really taking care of our bodies and our mental health? And I mean, are we really taking on it? I mean, at Hite, we have a full-time leadership director, Jose, that works with us on breathing and meditation and the mental game. But is it easy? If it happened to me, could it happen to anyone? And I want to do this video because I feel like we need to normalize this, because when it happened to me, I was almost like, dude, I don't want to talk about this. I don't even want my team to know about this. In fact, I don't think anybody from my team knew until I got home, because I didn't want people to feel like I couldn't handle the heat, like I couldn't handle the pressure. I didn't want our franchisees knowing that the guy that they're somewhat betting on to win and to grow and to scale, I didn't want people that depended on my growth and my energy and my effort to feel like, crap, dude, if he can't handle that, how is he going to handle 300 team members? How's he going to handle 50 franchises? How is he going to handle... And this fear overwhelmed me. And for the first time in a very, very long time, I mean, like, to be honest with you, I'd never really understood like what depression was or what being depressed is. I don't even know if I'm using the right language in this. But for the last week and a half, there's been this constant two-way fear of, number one, like, dude, I am tetrified of going back to the hospital. I mean, so scared. In fact, for 4 days after the hospital, after I couldn't get through a meal, I would eat, and every time I would eat, like something would happen in my body, and I would be like, oh, crap, is it happening again? Oh, what's going on? Can I take a full breath? And I started getting this place. I was getting to the office because the doctor said I needed to like slow down on the gym and like some things like this. And I was getting to the office and I was just like, I'm tired. I'm yawning. Like, what am I even doing? And so this sent me through this cycle, and I'm super excited because We went to church last Sunday for the first time in a couple weeks, because before I had this episode, I was gone on Sunday, and then before that, my daughter had stitches, and before that, we were traveling, and the whole entire devotion was about planning. It was about God's plan. It was about how, one of the quotes stuck out to me was, planning is essential. We got to plan. We got to be prepared. But plans are kind of foolish, right? And so this started getting me to talk about, and again, I just want to place this in your mind of going, what is really like the plan for us? What is really our purpose? What's really in charge of like where we're headed, right? And so when I'm looking at our franchisees, I'm like, oh, they're dependent on me. Who am I? Like, who am I to be so arrogant as to go, like, who am I to take on this burden, right? Like, this isn't my burden. Number one, it's their burden, right? It's their responsibility for their businesses. It's God's responsibility to take care of us all. It's our team. We have hundreds of people literally here to support. Who am I to try to play God in the scenario? Like, oh man, it's on me. Like, they depend on me. They need me, which took me down this journey of like trying to really understand, like, what is my purpose? What are we doing? I'm reading a book right now, and I want to just give you this thought here. Number one, there was a verse that said, everything got started in him and finds its purpose in him. This is from Colossians. And then in the book that I'm reading, it says there's a question to consider. In spite of all the advertising around me, how can I remind myself that life is really about living for God and not for myself? And so today, and you guys know this, I talk about faith sometimes in these as we're growing our agency and scaling. I think whether you're a Christian or not, I think living for something more than yourself is a huge part of being able to really scale and develop. Right now in my life, I'm learning that it's a huge part of being able to let go a little bit. Right now in my life, I'm learning how to depend on others. Today, I can sit here and tell you, like, today was the first day in about 2 weeks that I felt like, dude, I came in like ready to roll. My first meeting actually was with one of my good friends, Brad, and he was like, dude, what happened this morning, right? He noticed that energy in me, and I got my mojo back. I don't know can I say that? I got my mojo back, right? And so I just wanted to talk through this. I wanted to bring it up. I wanted to normalize it a little bit. I wanted to say, like, dude, be careful how we talk to people. Be careful how we interact, how we engage. Make sure those that are around you know how you feel, right? One of the things with me, because but my nature is to carry this burden. When people say, hey, JC, I got an issue, or I got a problem, or I do this, I care so much about what they're doing that it really, like, it's a burden. Again, it comes back on me, because I feel like if you're failing and you're around me or you're in my circle, there's something dependent on me. So be careful how we interact with people. If we know, man, this guy is someone who really cares about other people's feelings, we got to be cautious. We got to be aware. How else can we help? How else can we help those that are around us? How can we help each other? Today, with this YouTube video, if you made it this far, today I want to do nothing more. It's not about teaching lessons. It's not about showing you how to grow or to scale. It's simply to ask the question, maybe two questions. Number one, how can I really serve those around me? How do I really know? Because you don't know. We don't know who's suffering from depression or stress, or who is overworked, or who's having a hard time, or who's struggling with money or marriage or kids, or whatever the case may be. Today, I want us to focus on just simply, how can we serve others? Hope you guys have an incredible, incredible day. I'll be updating you on my journey through this, right? We're on a mission to get to 1,000 team members. There's going to be a lot of stress that comes with that. There's going to be a lot of anxiety. There's going to be a lot of worry. There's going to be a lot of growing. There's going to have to be an increase in sales. There's going to have to be an increase in capacity as leaders. So follow me on that journey. Make sure to subscribe below. I look forward to interacting with you. Leave a comment. I personally try to read each and every one of them. And definitely check out the website, jchite.me. If there's anything we could do for you, let us know. And until next time, keep working hard.